First off, optimism paid, obviously. Secondly, that game, I went back and looked at it. Puck possession was unbelievable. The wingers support, every time the deep pinch, they went back and covered. Smart game, smart passing, everything you've preached. That being said, how devastating would it have been to only come out with 1 point? And the second part of that question is, you mentioned the other day after the Tobias Reeder goal, the bench deflated. Then looking at that game, the Lindgren penalty came right after what really could have been a hooking penalty called on Oposo. They scored to tie it up. What did you notice on the bench that was different, and how do you try and maintain that over a course of a year where the team doesn't deflate after a goal like that?
Yeah, well, to answer your first part of your question, the good news is we don't have to think about only getting 1 point, because we did get two, but you go back and watch the game and you still say to yourself, and it still took overtime for us to get 2 points, so, but over the course of a season, you're going to go through games like that where maybe you really deserve to win either quicker or more decisively, and it also works the other way. Sometimes you should get blown out and you may steal a point or two, and that it usually ends up working out that way. But one of the things that I was really proud of with our team is how even-keeled we remained. Let's go back to the first period. We really played a great period, and they scored with 20 seconds to go to tie it. And you come out of that period, how the frig are we tied 1-1 after that period? And then, they get the goal in the third, and just our response. We had some great chances. Our power play was unbelievable with 10 minutes to go or 9 minutes to go when we got the power play. We had great chances. So, I just liked our mental toughness and our perseverance and, the will and desire and not accepting anything but winning. And that's kind of what our approach was. And it can't be just because we were in a little bit of a tailspin that we approached it that way. That has to be our approach night in and night out.
Hey, David.
Hey,
I know you crossed paths with Colin a little bit when he was at Harvard, but how much did you know about him, or what did you know about him before he joined the roster, and how it's kind of measured up to what he brought you guys after game?
Yeah, I just knew this was a guy that played honest hockey, had good skills, was a great lacrosse player too, by the way, and probably paid off a little bit with that saucer pass he made on the 2-on-1. But this is a guy that's just well liked, just plays with a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and he's got skills. So you combine all that, and you got a guy that can give you a chance. And in the short time here, he certainly has taken advantage of his opportunity.
Yeah, David, just a couple of housekeeping items. Lineup today and goaltender today, and if it's Igor, is he something you want to see if you can get a ride out of him here?
It'll be the same lineup, but George will be in net.
Hey, David, I wanted to ask you about the power play. Obviously, we saw a little bit of a new look to it in the last game. Wanted to get your thoughts on the benefits of having Adam and Tony together, and just in general, what do you like about the way the units are now?
Well, I think both units give you, obviously a little bit of a different look, and I just, I love listen, our chances were really good. I think we had 8 scoring chances on our power play the other night, so, the looks were good. We didn't see much of the second unit, which will change tonight, that's for sure. I don't mind that unit staying out there if they're going to be in the zone the whole time, but, changing quicker is certainly going to be addressed, and, but, the last power play, they were in the zone the whole time, so I don't want them changing when we're, getting chance after chance. So, it's a small sample size, but, we just think both units we needed to shake things up, obviously, the way the power play was rolling. And it's just, we think that the looks for both these units will give us the best chance to have a successful power play.
Dave, could you just tell us your thought process on why Alex tonight as opposed to coming back with Igor, and also is Jack okay? I didn't notice him on the ice this morning.
No, Jack still suffering a lower body injury, so he's going to be out. He's day to day. So, and listen, our goaltending, we got 2 really good ones, and obviously the circumstances have changed here since last year. Without having Hank here. And, I just thought, for the short term, we're going to go every other day with these guys for a while and see how it goes, regardless of how they play, and just, give them a little bit clearer picture and maybe a little more comfort in what the schedule is and who's going to play. So I don't know how long we're going to do it, but that's going to be the approach in the short term.
Yeah, you kind of just answered it a little bit, but I was going to ask you the philosophy of how long you can go that way with the goaltenders when you know that, I mean, this is what, game 8 of 56. It's still early in the season, but at the same point, do you want to get one that you can ride for a little bit at some point?
It's always nice to have one you can ride, for sure. And that's the end game. But again, these are different circumstances for both these guys. And I think this, in the short term, it gives us a chance to maybe solidify our goaltending situation going every other day with these guys.
David, I wanted to ask you about something that the fans seem to get caught up in all the time and ask about.
Well, hold on. Let me write this down. Hold on. Okay.
Well, I want just a little insight into ice time and why that might fluctuate. Just like as an example, Kakko had been over 15 minutes for 3 straight games, and then he's under 10 last game. So what are the factors that weigh into that in-game and why that might fluctuate with certain guys?
Well, it's funny you say that because when the game ended, I thought to myself, I don't know if I played Kakko enough, and I went and looked at the sheet, and I didn't. And I literally just talked to him today about it. I said, listen, that wasn't by intention. Every now and then, that can happen. Certainly not to that extent. Again, he's been playing. He's been playing a lot of hockey for us. He's going to continue to play a lot of hockey for us, and just the way the game flowed. The penalty situations, the timing of things, just the way, I thought Blackwell was having a good night. I thought Lafreniere was having a good night. It wasn't so much what he wasn't doing, because he continues to move in the right direction, but I didn't like the fact that he only played 10 minutes for the most part, and that's certainly something that won't happen again unless something drastic happens. Like that certainly wasn't the plan. It wasn't on purpose. It was just the way the game unfolded, and sometimes that can happen. It's just like I said, he's played a lot of hockey in one game. I don't want everybody overreacts to one game. I mean, if this happens 2 or 3 games in a row, then I get it, but it just happened to be the way the game evolved.